everybody, Kenneth Russell here. I hope you're doing great. Today I'm going to see if I can officially soundproof this door here that's in my studio going into a storage space. I built this whole room as like a soundproof room. So the walls have been soundproof, the floor somewhat. I might need to do some additional things with that. But my biggest problem right now is sound leaking through the doors. Doors are like super hard to seal up. So anyway, in this video, I'm gonna make some attempts to like finally seal up these doors, and I'm testing out a couple products, so check it out. So when I built this room, I had a couple ideas. This door here and the other door, the entrance door, there's rooms on the other side. So this, behind this wall, is a storage space that I built. In a way, that storage room is kind of another buffer to soundproof. So sound would still have to get out of that room and go into any other areas of the house that I didn't want to have sound coming into or going to. And also on the other door and the entrance to the studio, on the other side of that is my home theater, and that also is kind of a buffer as well. But I am noticing that there are some times where sound is getting in and out. So because that seal is not 100%, I bought this on Amazon. This is from a company called Audimute, A-U-D-I-M-U-T-E. And this was, I think, right around 25 or 30 bucks. I don't remember 100%. And this is a door seal kit. So supposedly this is like isolated or soundproof foam that, you know, sound waves aren't going to be able to get through. It's got two different thicknesses, and you can do two doors with this one package. So this is more for the door sweep, and so I can put it on the bottom and maybe some of this space up here at the top to just eliminate any of those frequencies from going in it. And then the other thing that I'm going to do is I got this big blanket. It's actually like a soundproof cloth. It's very similar to a moving blanket, but it's a different material, so it's going to work better, hopefully. This is called the Producer's Choice, and I got this from a company called vocalbooth2go.com. I'm going to have to order two of these if this works, but I'm going to test it out on this one. But basically, what this does, let me unfold it. I haven't even unfolded it yet. It basically is just a door blanket that I can hang. It's got these grommets here. And actually, looking here on one of the grommets, it was just cut out. You can see what it is. And it's basically like cotton or some sort of material that is packed together and sewn in. And so really it's like a half an inch or an inch, depending on when it was fully expanded, of material for it to block the sound. So the idea is if I hang this on the wall, then it's going, any frequencies that try to even sneak around, this is gonna block them. Now, I'm kind of, I think that the blanket itself is, I'm confident with that. My concern is not so much in the blanket as much as it is in the sealing it off. Because again, you know, if it's just hanging here and you know, there's a gap here, sound is gonna get around that gap and get in there. So it's going to be a combination of hanging it up here, and then I'm going to have to figure out a way to affix it to the wall just in order to hug the wall. So I'm thinking about maybe putting a Velcro strip on the end here, and then I could just kind of Velcro it around that trim piece, and then I have a sealed door. So, but for the purposes of this video, I'm testing out kind of for theory to see what's going to happen. So I'm going to just use a ton of tape and tape it up on the door and see what it does. It's a really heavy blanket. I think that it's like 10 pounds if I'm not mistaken. And this is basically, I believe what they do is they took their normal product, which is just the Producer's Choice wall blanket, and doubled it up. So this is kind of like two of those. But I like that it's one size for the door, and it's made to fit a door. So, and then I can put it on a railing or something like that up top, and then when I'm not using it, you know, just scrunch it off to the side or something like that and have it. In fact, this might even be kind of like a bass trap if I needed it to. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bass test here. I'm going to plug up my guitar to my looper pedal, play some music and amp, get a good volume in here, and then see what it's like without anything done in the other room. Then I'm gonna put up the blanket, see how much that blocks. Then I'm gonna put up the foam, see how much that blocks, and then I'm gonna do both. So, all right, let's see how we do. All right, so I've got my dB meter here, and this is just testing, just me talking right here. I'm gonna do just nothing in the room here. Okay, and then me talking, and then what I've got here, I've got my Boss DD20, and I just played a little bit into it, and I can turn up this level of the loop that I played and get to where we're at, kind of like maybe the 95 range. This is, I can turn the volume up on this, and then I can use my tuner to mute it if I want to. So. So that's the distance that I'm at basically from there, and I was peaking at about 95. I think there was a 97 in there once. So all right, now I'm going to just go in the other room and see what the volume is in that. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to just unmute this here. All right, so we're about, I don't know, all right, let's shut the door and see what happens. So to me, actually, that was a pretty good difference in just the door. I'm actually surprised at how well that did. So what I'm going to do now is put up that blanket, and from vocalbooth2go.com, and I'm going to see what just the blanket does in comparison. But I'm actually pretty impressed with what I've already done. Let me do my tape job and see what that's going to be like. All right, just trying to hang this up, I realized that there's no way the tape is going to hold this thing up. So I got these screws. I'm going to just screw into this wood up at the top. I still have to do a little bit of touch-up painting with this trim piece here, so I can always fill that in and touch it up, any holes that I make. All right, because there's no way for me to seal this and then get on the other side, what I'm gonna do is just make like double-sided tape kind of more or less going on through here. That way when I get to the other side, I can kind of pull it closed. But this is actually laying pretty nicely, so I don't think that is going to be a problem. All right, let me make some of that double-sided tape. All right, I'm going to try and get the same exact volume, which should be if I just hit this. All right, let's see. I can already tell that's dampened quite a bit. Let's close the door, see what happens. seems to me like that's about another 5 dB difference just in the blanket without putting any of the foam around there. Let's do the foam, do the same experiment. All right, basically this side that has the tape on it, the white tape, is not sticky. So I'll end up pulling that off. And this side that is on the underside is sticky. Okay, that took me about 8 minutes to do, but you can see here on the door jamb side, so this is not sticky. The other side of that is sticky. I'm gonna just pull this off, and then on, the door hinge side is like up against this part, but on the other parts of the door, you put it up against this part. Pull this guy off. See if I can get the door to close. This is kind of sticking out a bit, so I'm hoping that there's not going to be a problem. Let's see. I'm having to pull. Let me see. Yeah, I may have to figure out something to do with this door. Hold on. I'll give it a good yank. There we go. Yeah, that's not this product at all. It's my craftsmanship. I've got like certain spots like right here that stick out a little bit more. They kind of hit the wood. I was trying to seal it as much as I could by myself, but you can see in here, that's kind of what the seal is like right there. So, all right, let's do the sound test and see what it does. All right, shut the door. It's kind of about the same as what the blanket did, but it's not quite a fair comparison. And I'm actually not using this test to compare the two. I really just wanted to see what each thing did. What it does show is how good it does seal up. And I forgot to do the bottom too. So I'm gonna do that real quick now. But, I've already kind of soundproofed the door itself. So I don't think it's a direct, apples to apples comparison, but I am pretty happy of how much it's able to reduce. All right, I just sealed the threshold at the bottom, and we will see what it sounds like now. All right, maybe a slight difference. Well, you may be noticing I'm wearing a different shirt. That's because I'm actually filming this on a different day. What had happened was the footage that I recorded of the final test with both the foam seal and the blanket was lost on my camera. So I'm refilming this, but it's actually kind of a good thing because in the process of me thinking about this, refilming it, I'm gonna do things a little bit differently. I've got a camera set up here, and then I've also got a camera in that room. And so I'm gonna record the dB meter without anything moving. And basically, as the music is playing, I'll be able to get a dB test on kind of in real time of, the door open, the door closed, and then with the blanket. And what I'm gonna do is kind of use my hands to seal up the blanket as if I were using like Velcro or something to tape it to there so I can get a real good seal on there, because that's super important. So, all right, I'm gonna play some music, start the camera in there, and then I'm gonna seal it up. Actually, due to the wonders of editing, you'll actually see this before I will, but I want to take a look at it and see what that final conclusion was. It seemed to me like just at first view that with the door open, it was around like a 77 was what it was peaking. And here it was peaking at like 95 or so, like maybe 96 slightly. But so basically just having just the distance between where that amp is at and where that's at, about 10 feet in this room, maybe 8 feet in that room, is a reduction of about almost 20 dBs. And then going from shutting the door, it seemed like it reduced it another maybe 10. So it was right around the mid 60s. And it seems to me like when I shut the blanket and put that on it, it had like a peak of like 61 or so, maybe 62. I'll have to look at the footage again, but basically it was another like 15 or another 5 dBs, so like a 15 dB reduction from just the door open to it being closed. That doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm just talking right now. And since I've been talking, I've had a peak of 85. And like right now I'm talking and it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm at like a 77 dB just from me to this. The way dBs work is 10 dB difference is like a perceivable volume difference of like a doubling. So, you know, if you were to go from 77 dBs to 87 dBs, the perceived difference is that's a volume of doubling it. So it's kind of misleading because, you know, in our mind, it's what we kind of hear or ears are capable of hearing without damage is right around like the 100, 110, maybe 120 at the very, very, very loudest where we just can't stand it anymore. And I think over 110, you're actually doing damage to your ears. The point being, if it's close to 100, and so we have this idea of like, okay, 100 is the max and you know, 50 should be half that volume. That's actually not. 50 would be like significant. It's like exponential. It goes as it goes down. So if at the end of the day, I end up here with like, let's just go round numbers here, like a 60 dB with the blanket on and the door closed. If I go up, you know, with the blanket off, that would be like 50% more volume, another 5 dBs, 50% more volume. And then with the door open, that's another doubling there, 100% more from there. So I don't know exactly how the math works because it's been a long time since I've been in a math class and I've remembered how to do like exponential things like that. Maybe one of you guys could post down in the comments of what the actual perceived difference is between like a 75, 77 dBs to a 60 dB. Anyway, the conclusion I'm coming to is I think this is a great solution for if you're trying to soundproof a room like I'm doing here. I like this material, and I'm probably going to buy, well, I will buy another one for that door behind you. You can't see it, so I can have both of these doors completely soundproof. And then my next step is going to be to see if I can do anything with the ground, and I'm going to have to do some tests with sound up here and then sound downstairs to see if it's even worth it. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. You know, soundproofing is one of those things that is it's kind of a lot of experimenting and a lot of things to see where your weak points are, and I'm trying to figure that out in my room. So I think I'm really glad that I was able to seal up one of my weak points in this room. So Kent's Russell out. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you in another video.